Hey guys, what's up? It's time for a Blu-ray blowout. This one is going to cover pickups for late June and July. Um, got a lot of pickups. Didn't think I was going to get a lot because wrestling tickets were going on sale on the 29th, and I didn't think I was going to get a lot, but I was actually able to get more than I thought because of some creative pricing and things like that. So, with that said, here we go. I'm going to start with the ones that I haven't actually watched yet. And these are the ones that I haven't actually watched yet. Most of them are tagged, I think all of them, yeah, may be tagged for um, reviews at some point. So, those will get done. I'm just not sure when. So, we're going to start with the ones I haven't watched yet. Newest pickup first. Barbershop 3 or The Next Cut, whichever you want to go with. I love the Barbershop movies. I wish that 1 and 2 would get a Blu-ray release, but it's okay. I can hold out on getting those until they come out on Blu-ray, if they ever do. From what I've seen the trailer for this should actually be the better of the 3 movies, which is really rare for sequels, especially when you're getting into a second sequel like this one is. So that is, and it's Ice Cube, Cedric the Entertainer, and a bunch of just an ensemble cast here. So that's Barbershop, The Next Cut. Next is a Disney movie, The Finest Hour. Again, Hours. This is based on a true story, and everybody that knows me and knows my movie preferences knows that I like things that are based on true stories. So this also has Chris Pine, Casey Affleck, Ben Foster, and Eric Bana. So it's a pretty good cast there. Next is a movie that I got based on a recommendation from Amazon. And when I did a little research on it, it seemed like a pretty good movie. Watched the trailer, thought it was pretty good, so went ahead and picked it up. It was only $10, so it's Katie Holmes and Luke Kirby in a Spike Lee produced, Paul Dalio directed, Touched with Fire. From what I have heard and seen about this, is actually pretty good. It hasn't gotten a lot of major kudos or praise or anything like that, but it kind of touches on manicness and all that kind of stuff. So it should be awesome to watch. Can't wait to see this one, and this one is definitely tagged for review, so this one will be coming soon. That is Touched with Fire. Next, we have a Seagal movie, which was also tagged for recommendation by Amazon. With only $7, I think. Steven Seagal, Code of Honor. Never heard of it before. I saw the review. I saw the recommendation for it. It's a Seagal movie. I like Steven Seagal. $7. I picked it up. Again, this one is tagged as well. Based on the trailer, it's action cheese, which, again, if you've been around me long enough, you know I like true stories and action cheese. Alright, and then I should probably actually do this one last because it's the crown jewel of the collection for this, of the pickups for this month, but I've seen videos and everybody's doing this one last, so I don't want to be like everybody else. I'll do it now. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I pre-ordered this, and at release day, when I pre-ordered it, it was $29.96. At release day, it was $17.96. So I got a bunch of money back thanks to Amazon's pre-order price guarantee. Thank you very much. Can't wait to watch this. It's got the theatrical and the extended edition on it. Um, so, um, yeah, I've heard a lot of things about Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal of Lex Luthor in the movie. People don't like it, but I'm not going to judge based on what I don't know. So, here we go. That's the stuff I haven't watched yet. And like I said, all that stuff is tagged for review. Next batch here. Again, another movie, Disney movie, based on a true story. Kevin Costner, McFarland, USA. This is about a cross-country team. So when I saw this, I thought of one of my best friends from high school, Sean, who, ran track and ran cross-country, and, was always all into that, and very good. And I thought that while I couldn't really relate to the story much, I thought the movie was well shot. I thought the performances by the actors were really good. Kevin Costner does great in pretty much anything he does. So definitely, if you're into like sports movies and true stories like me, this is definitely worth picking up. Next, we have Ja Rule, Adrian Bellon, Stephen Baldwin, Vincent Pastore, Toby Mac, T-Bone, Michael Madsen in I'm in Love with a Church Girl. This was a recommendation from Amazon because I bought War Room a couple months back, and this has been a recommendation for a while. I've just never pulled the trigger on it till now because it was always up around $15, and it dropped to $8.99, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this. I'm in Love with a Church Girl. Next, we have Allegiant, the third in the Divergent series movies, with that lenticular slipcover. Pretty awesome. Awesome movie. I'm kind of upset that they're not going to make the fourth movie a theatrical release. It's going to be a TV movie followed by a television series. But, it is what it is, and this is definitely, I'm glad to definitely have this one, and eventually the TV movie will probably go on Blu-ray too, because they usually almost always do. So that's Allegiant. Next, we have a Screen Factory release, Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions. This is a classic horror film, and Clive Barker and Wes Craven are my two favorite horror people, so this is definitely a must-have. I'm glad they picked this one up. I haven't seen this in years, so I was glad to pick it up and be able to watch it and relive. Screen Factory, as always, did a great job. Next, we have the WWE release, Straight Outta Dudleyville. Now, I love this slipcover for this. I don't know why they don't do this for more of their Blu-rays, but I love the slipcover for this. Awesome match compilation on this, and the documentary is pretty good too. It's only about an hour and a half, and then the rest of it's matches and promos and stuff, but it's an awesome retrospective, so that's Straight Outta Dudleyville. Next is a great match compilation for probably my favorite singles title of all time, besides the defunct TV title that WCW used to run. That used to be my favorite singles title, and I kind of wish that WWE would bring something like that back, but not going to happen apparently. But this is like a great history of the U.S. title. Great matches on here. Covers the entire history from '75 when Harley Race was the first U.S. champion through today with Rusev. So awesome pickup. I'm glad to have this. Been looking for this forever. I've seen it, bro. I just was waiting for it to drop down in price, and once it hit like $17, I'm like, okay, it's not gonna drop any further, because for the longest time it was up around 30. So that is the U.S. Championship, a legacy of greatness. All right, next we have more Scream Factory titles. John Carpenter's Body Bags. Now this is one that Chad put over for a long time, and I've been looking to pick up for ever since he first started. I heard him first talk about it, and I saw a price drop on Amazon. This was like $30, and it dropped to $20. So I figure $10 price drop, cool. I'll get it now. No sooner do I get it when it dropped to $20. The next day, it was back up to $30. So, yeah, that's my. If anybody has ever asked me for advice about Amazon, they drop their prices and then they'll raise them again the next day. So if you see something like with a dramatic sudden price drop and you want to get it then, because chances are the next day it's gonna be back at the price that you saw it before. Next, another Scream Factory. Jamie Lee Curtis in Terror Train. Now, this is one I hadn't seen before, but I've heard good things about it from people in the BlueTube community, and so it was worth picking up, and I enjoyed it. Good to see a young Jamie Lee Curtis, in her early career. Next, we have Michael Fassbender, Kate Winslet, Seth Rogen, Jeff Daniels, and it's directed by Danny Boyle, and the screenwriter on this was Aaron Sorkin, who actually also created the TV show The West Wing. That is Steve Jobs. This is a biopic. They did a biopic earlier with Ashton Kutcher. I've got both of these as the slip cover's coming off. But I've got both of these, and I think this is the better of the two. Just because I think it is a truer adaptation of, the complexities of being Steve Jobs. So definitely worth picking up. Steve Jobs. Next, I have My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Can't really say much about that. Awesome movie, loved it. And My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, Because I Am a Completist. Again, awesome movie, loved it. Watch it, get it, watch it if you like these kind of movies. I've got, if anybody is wondering, I do have I Hate Valentine's Day, who, the same person that directed and starred in both of the Greek wedding movies, stars in that movie as well, and I like what she does, so that is on my list of things to pick up at some point. So yeah, next we have Helen Mirren, Aaron Paul, and the last performance for Alan Rickman, Eye in the Sky. This was an awesome movie. I loved it. It's kind of a, war, mind fuck, because it kind of shows how war changes, because they start out with one mission, and then the mission all of a sudden turns into something different. But it's definitely an awesome movie, Awesome performances by all. Rest in peace, Alan Rickman. Next, we have Tina Fey in Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Now, this is tagged as a comedy, but it really isn't. It's more like a drama. I enjoyed it. Tina Fey did really well in this. And again, this is tagged as a comedy, but it's really not. So don't let the tag people put on these throw you off, because this is really not a I mean, there's comedy parts to it, but it's not really a comedy. It's more of a drama. So that is Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Next, please, I have Elizabeth Olsen and Tom Hiddleston in The Story of Hank Williams, I Saw the Light. This is an awesome movie. It's a biopic. I love biopics. I know I've said that a million times, but it's true. Even if you don't know who Hank Williams is, this is a great Blu-ray to pick up. It's awesome. It'll give you a good indication of who he actually is and what he went through in his life, and the struggle between his wives and his mother to figure out who's going to be, the number one chick in his life. Definitely worth picking up. Glad I picked this one up, and would highly recommend it to anybody. Next, we have Eric Bischoff, sports entertainment's most controversial figure. Awesome documentary, awesome special features. Definitely worth picking up. I wanted to pick this up as soon as it came out, but I was a little low on money, so I had to wait. And I'm glad I waited because it dropped a little bit in price. Picked it up for like $25, and it was, for the longest time, going for like $35. So glad to wait to pick that up. Another wrestling documentary or wrestling related pickup that I'm glad to have finally made is Best of NXT Volume 1. If you do not have this, if you're a wrestling fan, you don't have this, you're selling yourself short. Pick this up. This is a great compilation from start to finish. I can't really say anything more than that because I don't want to undersell it, and I can't oversell this enough. So, NXT Greatest Matches Volume 1. Can't wait for Volume 2. There you go. Next is My Name is Doris with Sally Field. This is a cute movie. This is kind of about, coming of age at a later time in your life. Really cute, really thought-provoking, and I enjoyed it a whole bunch. Since My Name is Doris, and Sally Field did an awesome job. Alright, next is the Smokin' Aces 2-pack. And these are just awesome movies. I love these movies. Glad to have picked these up in a 2-pack rather than have to pick them up individually. Definitely worth a pick up if you haven't already. And when I got them, they were $11.99. When I got them for the 2-pack, it was $11.99. So if you see this, pick it up now because it may go up in price later. Smokin' Aces 2-pack. Alright, next is Robin Williams' last film, Boulevard. Now this is again another coming of age story at a later time in your life. This is probably, I think anyway, Robin Williams' best performance, and he saved it for his last performance, which is, awesome and sad at the same time because you don't get to see his greatness anymore. But it's very, very good, very, very thought provoking, and very, very awesome to see a coming of age this late in life. So it's definitely worth picking up. That is Boulevard. Next is another 2-pack, The Karate Kid 1 and 2. What more can I say about these movies? These movies are great. Everybody knows these movies. I love them. If you haven't seen them, you need to. Next, Vince Vaughn in Term Life. This was awesome. I watched this yesterday. After I get done with recording this one, I'm going to record a review for this. I'm probably going to do a review for this on its own because I intended to watch Barbershops 3 and review that with this, but I haven't yet, just because I haven't had time, so I may just do this on its own. It's Term Life. Next is a very good rom-com. It Could Happen to You, Bridget Fonda and Nicolas Cage. This is one I hadn't seen in a while, but I loved it when I did see it, and I'm glad to have this on Blu-ray. Awesome movie. Next is Michelle Pfeiffer and Jack Nicholson in Wolf, two of my favorite actors ever. Very, very, very good movie. If you haven't seen this, you need to. Alright, guys. Next is Take Me Home Tonight. I think I did a review on this. I'm not sure. I have to look at the reviews that I've done. I enjoyed it. It's kind of like an adult version of Can't Hardly Wait, if you remember that movie from 1998. And I enjoyed it, guys. It was awesome throwback to the 80s, Anna Faris was in it, so that made it a lot much better. Next is The Good Dinosaur, cute kids movie. I love this. I'm trying to boost my Disney collection, so this is an awesome pickup. Glad to have this one. Next is Living on a Razor's Edge, the Scott Hall story. The matches and documentary on this were awesome. This is probably the best release, profile-wise, WWE's done in forever. If you don't have this, if you're a wrestling fan, pick this up. You owe it to yourself. Awesome. I can't say enough good things. Next, we have another Scream Factory title, the director's cut of Nightbreed. Again, this is one I've seen, but it's been a while, so I was glad to pick this up, and when I heard that it was getting a Scream Factory release, that pretty much made it a must-get, because Scream Factory is just cool like that. That's Nightbreed. Next, yet another Scream Factory release, The People Under the Stairs. Now, I've seen this, I watched this when I was a kid, loved it when I was a kid, loved it when I watched it again. This is awesome. Scream Factory did an awesome job with the special edition for this, and definitely worth picking up if you don't have it. yeah, any of the movie, any Screen Factory release that you don't already have is worth picking up. And in some cases, even if you have releases for the movies that have already been done that are getting Screen Factory releases, it may be worth it to pick up the extra copy just for the Screen Factory release because of the way they do things, the way they load it down with extra stuff and things like that. So, awesome. Alright, 4 more, guys. Next is one I've been waiting to get for a while, hoping that it would drop in price, and it didn't. It hadn't. When I added to my wish list a couple of years, like a year and a half ago, it was $19.59. When I looked the other day, it was still $19.59. I said, well, this ain't gonna drop anytime soon, so I'll just go ahead and pick it up now. That would be Tennessee Williams' play, the film adaptation, Vivian Lee and Marlon Brando of A Streetcar Named Desire. This is an awesome, awesome movie. I love it. Kind of like older movies, as anybody that's been around me might also know a little bit about. And this is I'm definitely glad to have finally pulled the trigger on this. Streetcar Named Desire. Alright, next we've got Anna Kendrick and Miles Teller and Bryan Cranston in Get a Job. This is tagged for a review. I think I've already done it, not really sure, can't remember. Might not have been released yet. But this is an awesome movie. I loved it. Definitely worth seeing. For some people, though, they may only want to have watched this one time, but I'll definitely watch this more than once, so Get a Job. Alright, I'm going to save that for last. Next, we have Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, and the late Richard Harris, R.I.P. to the original Albus Dumbledore, in Unforgiven. This is an awesome movie. I love this movie. This is probably one of my favorite westerns ever, just because it's not a typical western. Usually the typical westerns kind of, romanticize, the damsel in distress and the, romance part of that. But this one is more kind of a violent western, and there's not really much in the way of like damsels in distress and romance and all that kind of stuff. So this is probably one of my favorite westerns ever. That's Unforgiven. Alright. And last but most certainly not least, we have Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis, and Goldie Hawn in a Screen Factory release, a collector's edition of Death Becomes Her. Now, this is a throwback to my childhood, okay? This is I remember watching this when I was little and just loving it because, like, it was comedic, but it was dark at the same time. So it's a dark comedy. If you haven't seen this, you need to. And if you have, this again is one of those films that if you have a previous release on this, you want to get it. You might want to consider picking this edition up as well, just because Screen Factory does a great job with these and lots of special features and stuff. So, but that is Death Becomes Her, and guys, that pretty much ends the haul of Blu-rays for late June and all of July. Appreciate the watching, appreciate the support and the fostering of creativity. I love y'all. I'll be back soon, and peace.